Shabbos Daf Nun Tes. How's everybody doing? As we learned yesterday, if a bell becomes tamei, even if you remove the imbel, the clapper, we don't consider the bell as a broken kli. It remains tamei. The question is why. We saw yesterday, Abaye says, since any simple person can put the clapper back in, so it's as if it's a complete kli. Rabbi Yossi Bar Chanina says, since I have a new usage for it, I can use the outside of the bell as a cup to give water to a child. Even though it's a new usage, it's considered tamei. However, Rava and Rabbi Yochanan both hold, in order for something to remain tamei, you have to be able to use it with its original usage, its original designation. Therefore, they say the only way and the reason why a bell remains tamei is because you could take that bell and bang it on something, and it'll make a sound of a bell. It might not be the original sound, but it'll be a sound nevertheless, and therefore it remains tamei. We see that Rabbi Yochanan holds of this concept that in order for something to remain tamei, it has to have its original use. Because by tumas medris, that is, if a person is a zav, a zava, nida, yoledes, they sit on a chair, on a couch, that chair couch become tamei tumas medris, even if they're not sitting directly on it, just on things that are on top of it. And it's a really strong tumah of avahat tumah. The halacha is, since it says in the pasuk yeshev, in the future, it has to be something that's designated as a chair. So if you're to take a bucket that was meant to measure something or to mop the floor with, and you flip it over and sit on it and say, now it's a chair, that's not enough to make it tumas medris, because somebody will come over and say, Amoid v'nasim lachtenu, stand up, let me do my job, let me mop the floor. Therefore, it doesn't come tumas medris. Rebbe Elazar holds that by tumas meis, we don't say this concept of Amoid v'nasim lachtenu. And therefore, whereas by tumas medris, there's two Amoid v'nasim lachtenu. There's one, in order to be susceptible to tumah, you need to designate that item as a chair or as a bed. And the second thing is, once it does become tamei, in order to remove the tumah, all you need to do is, let's say if you have a mat that's 3 by 3 tefachim and you sat on it designated for sitting, if you cut it in half, it's no longer tamei tumas medris because it can no longer serve the purpose of sitting. Whereas by tumas meis, even if you were to cut it in half, since it serves another purpose, this mat that's 1.5 by 3, it remains tamei tumas meis. Where Rabbi Yochanan holds no, since it doesn't serve its original purpose, it's no longer tamei. So you see that Rabbi Yochanan holds that the item needs to serve its original purpose. Another case that Rabbi Yochanan says it needs to serve its original purpose is if you fit an animal with metal shoes. Animal shoes. They're susceptible to tumah. Rabbi Yochanan says the reason is because a human being in a real need, in the middle of war, when he's running away and he wants to run on top of thorns, he might use the animal shoe. So it serves its original purpose of a shoe for a human being, and therefore it's makabel tumah. Where Rav says the reason why it's makabel tumah is because it serves another purpose. You can fill it up with water. According to Reb Chanina, you can fill it up with oil. The difference is between Rav and Reb Chanina is that if it becomes disgusting, people won't use it for water. They'll use it for oil. They'll use it to run. Or if it's really heavy, they won't use it for running, but they might use it for water and for oil. We're going back to the Mishnah. We learned in the Mishnah a woman should not go out with Ir Shel Zahav, the city of gold. What is that? Says the Gemara, it's talking about a depiction of Yerushalayim in a piece of jewelry similar to what Rebbe Akiva made his own wife, Rachel, the famous story. He promised his wife that one day when he'll have money, he will make her a Ir Shel Zahav, and so he did. There's a three-way machlokes. A woman who goes out into Rosh Hashanah with Ir Shel Zahav, according to Rameh, it's the worst of the worst. It's an Issa D'Oraisa because it's a burden, it's a load, it's a masui. Why? The only reason people wear it is to show off their wealth. It's not even a decor, it's not a decoration, it's not jewelry. According to Chachamim, it is a tachshit, it's jewelry, and the issue is that you might come to take it off in Rosh Hashanah and show it to your friends. Therefore, it's asur to do, and if you did it, you're patur because it's only Issa D'Rabbanan. According to Rebbe Elazar, we're not concerned that a woman will take it off. Who wears a Ir Shel Zahav? A wealthy woman, a Isha Chashuva. Isha Chashuva, it's below her dignity to take it off and show her friend. The Gemara discusses a klila, a tiara, which a kala would wear, a crown. According to Rav, it's also to go out with it on Shabbos, and Shmuel says it's mutter. According to one lashon, is we're talking about a solid piece, like a solid piece of gold. And if it's a solid piece of gold, there is no machlokes. According to everybody, it's asur. Where's the machlokes? When it's made out of fabric and there's studs of gold in it. The question is whether or not she will take off something like that and show it to her friends if it's chashiv enough to show her friends. Another lashon is, according to Rav Ashi, that if it's made out of fabric, there's no machlokes that it's mutter to go out with it. No one will take that off to show off. The machlokes is in a solid piece, and the question is, maybe she'll show it to her friends, or maybe perhaps the only person that wears it is Isha Chashuva, a noble woman, and she won't take it off to show her friends. Rav Yosef Paskin, like Rav Ashi, that a klila is mutter to go out with. The Gemara tells a story. When Rebbe was on his deathbed, he told Reb Chanina, I want you to be the Rosh Hashiva. After Rebbe was nifter, Reb Chanina refused. He said Rebbe Office will be insulted, so he let Rebbe Office be the Rosh Hashiva. But he himself, Reb Chanina, didn't go into Beis Medrash, and he learned with Levi. When they told Rebbe that a very tall Chashiv Talmud Chacham came, and he was limping, Rebbe knew right away it's Levi. And he said it has to be that Rebbe Office was nifter. And therefore his chavrusa, Rebbe Chanina, became the Rosh Hashiva. It can't be that Rebbe Chanina was nifter and he was left without chavrusa, because because Levi would have been subordinate to Rebbe Office. And the fact that Rebbe said to Rebbe Chanina that he should be the Rosh Hashiva, Tzadik Goyz V'Akadosh Baruch Hu Mekayim, like it says in the pasuk. Levi came and he made a drush and he said a klila is mutter. Most Rishonim learn that he said all kalilas, all tiaras, whether it's a solid piece or fabric, are mutter, and that is the halacha. That day that he made that drasha, 24 women in Hardah came out with their klilas, and when Rabbi Baravua darshaned it in Mechaiza, 18 women came out of one courtyard. Times all the courtyards in Mechaiza, many more people had klilas in Mechaiza than they had in Hardah. A beautiful belt you're allowed to wear on Shabbos. One lashon says that it's made out of fabric and it has studs of gold, and it's like a talus made out of gold, which is a tachshit, and nobody will take that off, because if you take off a belt, your clothing might fall off, and one won't do that. Another lashon is that it's a solid belt, and the reason why you're allowed to wear it is because you're like a king. All Jews are considered kings. Kings wear this, it's considered a lavush, and therefore it's mutter. If you put one belt on top of another belt, that's already a burden, and it's usher. A corset, you take a piece of clothing and you tighten it around your body tight. If it has ties and it's tied well, it won't fall off, it's mutter. Without the ties, it's usher. Katla, we discussed already, it's a bib that catches crumbs. Nizamim is a nose ring, but an earring, a woman is not chasha to take it off, it's too hard to get to. And then we learned about a ring, which we will go on tomorrow, Be'ez Hashem, to explain the sugya of a ring that has a signature and doesn't have a signature. Have a wonderful day.